Not going to dive too heavily into this subject. However, I thought it was actually quite interesting because a lot of folks here on YouTube do like Square Enix in general for their classic JRPGs. So I thought it'd be something interesting to share, I suppose. So apparently recently, Square Enix has posted a significant but expected net loss of 13.7 billion yen, which is 88 million pounds. Yeah, 88 pound. That's sure a big gash in their pockets. But no, 88 million pounds as well as 135 million dollars for the business year ended March 31st, 2013, which is unfavorable by a huge margin line, which is pretty nuts. So a lot of this is, of course, poor sales from the consoles. Now, of course, for digital means, I can't really say too much. Again, that's also posted on this little link here. They have a couple figures set up so you can check that out. So, hopefully, they're going to be expected to return to profitability by the 2014. This is, of course, their guess. They're going to fix their budgets or something like that. There's something interesting as that nature. Now, I'm going to discuss a couple games that actually were good that they published, take note, did not make themselves, such as Hitman, Tomb Raider, Deus Ex. These games were all fantastic. Yes, some of these were, of course, relaunches or just predecessors or sequels, but they were great games. They were not bad at all. I mean, hell, even Final Fantasy 13 as well as 13-2 wasn't even that bad either. I mean, they were actually quite decent. I mean, they're not for everybody. Absolutely not. 13 was a huge departure from the original series. It didn't quite deliver the hit factor that it should have. So then 13.2 came out, was a lot better. They improved the engine, listened to a couple of suggestions from the fans, and they added some good, decent content. So it was a lot of exploration quite sooner in the game than usual from the 13 segment. And then, of course, you have Lightning Returns, which is quite nuts, too. Another thing, too, I could see where the money got lost from was definitely from Final Fantasy 14. Now, while the first initial launch of the game was a failure by a margin line, it also, the reproduction of the game was a good gash in their pocket too. And then, of course, you got to factor in all the extra stuff, and then, you kind of got a lot of money lost there. And if you factor in that small cadence to piracy and, of course, lack there of sales in general for most games because of the obvious, as thrown around as commonly as it is now, the bad economy, you got a lot of things bouncing against Square Enix in this financial deficit. So hopefully by, as they suggested themselves, March 31st, 2014, they can pull themselves back together. Because personally, I enjoy Square Enix. I don't have anything really bad to say about the company. I like them as a company. Same game can go towards, even at some points, thinking of EA, they're assholes, absolutely. But, there's a couple games I do like of them, and there's a couple others from any other company out there. I just hope the best for their financial regain. Someone goes, "Did you just say you liked EA?" Blasphemy. Well, no, I like Battlefield 3, as well as some of the Battlefield series games, so therefore I have some sort of hope in the back of my mind for the company. There's just some others I can bounce and give two shits about. So, yeah, what do you think about Square Enix as well as their financial departure? Is it depressing? Is it disheartening? Because you could also factor this just like how THQ went out. THQ did put out quite a few good games near the end of their shelf life, but, since that big budget, liquidation they did on freaking Humble Bundle, as everyone on PC had an orgasm and all the console gamers were just having blue balls. It was quite a depressing thing to see because they were they were improving themselves, but then it was a little bit too little too late. I mean, it's kind of the same with Square Enix at the moment, personally. They're kind of doing the same thing, where they're improving themselves, they're putting out or publishing out a lot of better AAA titles now, and they're starting to improve as a company for sure, because especially the launch success of Dragon Quest 9 and 10, while Dragon Quest 10 is not doing as good as well in Japan. I think it was like its first initial launch was 400,000 units or something like that. I can't remember the figures correctly, but you know, it wasn't quite as successful for 10, but you know, hopefully they can pull out and smack it against the cheek of a nice, attractive woman. So, alright, take it easy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care. Feedback below or video response if you decline so.